And this is Akirathenephilim here with one of my good friends, Roger the Assassin.
Yeah!
And yes, we're finally back to making podcasts. Sorry,
it's been a while, but I was mostly asleep every time this one called me.
Yeah.
So.
And I begin.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I can't find anyone else to do this podcast with. Wait a minute. Hold up. I think I know one other person that can be in this.
If you could get anyone else that was a band,
Yeah.
but I highly doubt it.
So, right now the background gameplay is Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, and I am playing as Virgil.
Oh, nipples.
I just gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
For those of you guys who just joining us for like the first time ever, I understand a lot of things like that, so yeah.
Yeah.
Why the hell is it? What the hell is this?
So anyway.
I just found something I don't think is. Oh, never mind. I know what it is. It's a receipt.
Well, anyway, so just to answer some of you guys' questions of where we've been for the past few days, and why we didn't make another podcast till now, is because, like Roger the Assassin says,
bro, mainly him.
Yeah, like Roger the Assassin.
I've just been sitting at home doing nothing except watching something on an app.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you guys love anime, TV, movies, or anything like that, try downloading Terrarium. Fun app.
Or
you can watch movies, TV shows, anime, whatever, for free.
Oh yeah, speaking of which I am mad.
You cannot get it from the Play Store or the Apple Store. You have to download it straight from Google.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and by the way, for speaking of anime, I'm considering I'm not sponsored, but
I found that one anime that I could never find on YouTube.
Oh yeah, and by the way,
every time I tried to look it up, every time I tried to look up Angel Beats, I would get something else.
Yeah.
Well, I found it on Terrarium.
Huh.
I have yet to watch it though.
Yeah.
It's saved under my favorite.
Oh yeah, by the way, I'm not sponsored by any company or whatever, so if you guys want to like find a service that you can strictly watch like animes like cannot what?
Another one I found on Terrarium.
Yeah, which I cannot remember the English title. Like I can only remember the Japanese title.
What was the English title?
I mean, like, I speak both English.
I also found Akashic Records of Bastard Magical Instructor on Terrarium.
Yeah, but anyway, the only service, if you want to watch animes like stuff like that, the best service that I could say that you guys should go to is High Dive.
Yeah.
And no.
I bet any anime that you can find on the site you just said, I'm betting you can probably also find on Terrarium.
Yeah.
And Terrarium is a very fun app. I mean, yes, after you download it, and the first time you go to try and watch something, you have to download a extra thing, but that's just to be able to watch the movies.
Oh yeah.
The best thing you can download after downloading Terrarium to be able to watch your movies is Yes Player, which is the best one out of it, but I have two different ones that I've downloaded, which is Yes Player and what was the other one? M something. Hold on, I'm looking at MX Player. They're both allow you to watch shows on Terrarium.
Wait, hold up. Before you say anything else, I got 2 comments right now. Says cat in the night.
What?
Yeah, that's literally the 2 comments that I gotten.
Wait, what did it say?
Cat in the night.
Hold on, this makes me think maybe it's a couple of the viewers trying to tell us of maybe an anime or a TV show or something.
It's probably a TV show because most of...
I'm searching it. It's Cat in the Night?
Yeah. And why you keep on... Okay, we get it. It's called Cat in... Why you... Oh, my. You know, at this point,
let's go searching. Okay. No, nothing in TV show. It is not a TV show or something that has multiple episodes. I just found it on Terrarium under the movies section.
Yeah.
Hold on. It's... Nope, wrong thing. Nope, it's not popping up. But you can watch things such as Elementary, Suits, Big Bang Theory, Game of Thrones, Power Rangers, Friends, if you're into old TV shows like that. I, for one, definitely am. I used to love Friends growing up. You can also watch America's Got Talent, The Office, a whole bunch of different things, Criminal Minds. You can catch up on catch up on a lot of things that you might have missed.
Yeah.
Starting from the very first season. Say if you're a huge Flash fan and you have yet to see any of the episodes of The Flash and you have no way to see it, download Terrarium. You can watch up to all 4 seasons that are out right now.
I guess the guy left the stream. Because okay, so the first comment says like cat in the night, and then underneath it was in Russian. Then the second comment says cat in the night again, and it's in and the bottom is in Japanese. And then he repeated the same comment, just with longer sentence, and just that the underneath was a longer sentence.
Yeah, I don't know what Cat in the Night is, but if it's a TV show or an anime, and if it's relatively new, it's not out on Terrarium, because Terrarium only does things like how Netflix does, which is by season.
Yeah.
It's not like some free apps like the CW where you can, after an episode airs, the next day you can go and watch it.
Yeah, I mean, like, speaking of, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, about High Dive. The thing about High Dive is that they only do like Sentai Filmworks as animes, like Mayochiki.
Oh, one other thing I found on Terrarium, Ruby, which is quite interesting to see because that is a Rooster Teeth production.
Yeah.
And Rooster Teeth is a huge YouTube channel.
My only question is how.
I find it interesting that a YouTube channel that creates animated videos such as Ruby, that their stuff is on Terrarium.
Well, you can find Ruby on demand, actually.
Yeah.
So.
I prefer watching it via the YouTube channel because I'm actually subscribed to the YouTube channel Rooster Teeth. So.
Yeah.
But to find it on Terrarium, I was excited because then if they come out with more episodes, more seasons, I can go and watch them.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
So, hold on, my controller is about to die out. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go save that into my favorites because I just forgot about it.
Ah, come on.
Yeah, I love it. I got Ruby and Ruby Chibi.
Well, anyway, so
Nothing found in movies. Damn. I really wish they would actually make a movie out of it as well, because that would be interesting.
honestly, I can see Ruby being a live-action movie, but if you tell this to Mighty Shadow, he basically dislikes live-action anime-based live-action movies.
I'm a big fan of live action, but I mean, I did watch the live action version of Full Metal Alchemist and a little bit of the live action version of Death Note.
Yeah, I like the live-action version of
Death Note. What I saw of it was okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was still a good movie. It's just that.
Did you hear that they're coming out with a live-action version of Bleach?
Yeah, which I'm actually really excited to see.
I saw a thing for the live-action version. I went, oh, this looks so fucking interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I would totally watch it. I don't care that it's live action, because it follows the story arc of the actual anime.
Yeah.
So that'll be the fun part about it, but with knowing them, it'll probably just be like a short movie instead of like episodes upon episodes.
Now you bring up live action. The only thing now what I do have to say is, speaking of that topic, is that not every live action movie that is out there is bad. I mean, like, most of them are like decent. So.
Some of them are decent, and some of them are just plain fucking epic.
Yeah, I mean, like, the worst live action movie that I've seen, or the worst two live action movies I've actually seen, is Dragon Ball Evolution and the live action adaptation of Attack on Titan.
Yeah, the Attack on Titan one I have not seen.
Yeah, I'm not.
The Dragon Ball one that you just talked about.
The one.
Those two I haven't seen, but I would like to see them for myself to give my honest opinion about them.
Yeah, I mean, like.
I mean, I saw a little bit of a live action version of that, and to give my honest opinion, it was okay for me.
Yeah,
it wasn't like, oh, I want to watch it like 1,000 more times.
Yeah, I mean, like.
With some live actions, I'm just like, that was okay, or that was shit. Like, but then there are some where I'm just like, oh man, I want to keep watching this on repeat until I just get tired of it.
Yeah, the one thing I do want to say too is that with the Death Note movie, it was good, but what I disliked about it though, because I get that they tried to make an American adaptation of it, so they had to change up some of the characters' names. But my only question is, why the heck did they change Misa so much? Like, you would think that they would keep her looks and everything.
I only got about maybe 5 minutes into the live action version. When I decided, I'm done.
Yeah. The one thing that I do want to say too is that if for any guys that had seen the movie, they're all the way through.
I definitely want to see the live action version of Bleach, because that one looks fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, like.
And it'll be interesting to watch.
The one anime movie I'm actually excited for when it comes out is the new Dragon Ball Z movie.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about that, but
yeah, they're pretty much the only reason why I'm excited is because they adding Broly back into it. They're adding Broly.
God, fucking Broly.
And it's not like the lame ass like Broly from like
Broly, man.
from that one Dragon Ball Z movie where it was like only Goten and what was it? Goten and Trunks and Krillin fighting like a slime Broly, I call it. which don't know what that was about.
You mean Broly isn't a dick?
I mean, like, he's still a... Well, judging by the trailer, he's still like that, but except that he doesn't... But I can only guess that he doesn't obsess over Goku as much.
Oh, man. Some of the shit that I've seen is just like...
Yeah. I mean, like... But other than that...
As we're talking, I'm literally scrolling through Terrarium trying to find things to watch. Like, other things to add to my favorites list. You can, and for all those Walking Dead fans out there, they do have The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe at some point might have Fear of the Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Family Guy.
Oh, yeah, Assassin. Speaking of The Walking Dead, I do want to say this out there to all you guys who are Tekken fans like me. If you haven't watched Bandai's new trailer, they adding Negan from The Walking Dead into Tekken 7, which my only guess is how the heck does that work? My only guess is how the heck does that work? Because Negan only has a spiked bat. I mean, like, I'm excited to see that they adding him, but it's like, why? Like, I cannot see Negan being in Tekken at all. I mean, like, now, before any of you guys say, oh, before any of you guys put in the comment section, oh, I'm not a real Tekken fan, though, oh, I'm not a real The Walking Dead fan because I don't want this character to be in this game. I mean, like, for one, that's not true. I mean, like, it's interesting to me. I mean, like, if they added him to Tekken 7, it's just that I'm kind of dumbfounded of how they just added some random antagonist from The Walking Dead into Tekken 7, even in a fighting game like that. So, like that, I don't want a character like from The Walking Dead to be in Tekken 7. I actually do, but it's just like, why?
I am so happy. Sorry, I just found something because I'm just happy because they have something on Terrarium that I have only watched a few episodes of from a different...
So... Oh yeah. Hey, Assassin. Speaking of which, I want to get into the death battle debate that
Death battles? Really?
Yeah, because someone at my job pretty much asked, well, not at my job, but someone at my church pretty much asked me if can we do another Issei versus another Issei death battle debate.
Now that's interesting.
Yeah, so...
Someone really loves their Issei, man.
I know. I mean, like, the one... I guess we can put him against... Let's see. I guess we can put him against Ichika from Infinite Stratos.
Hi, kitty.
Don't you think that?
If you guys randomly hear me say something, it's probably because I have a cat.
Yeah. And one thing that I do want to say is before we get into the death battle debate, here are the rules. The rules is that we cannot we cannot choose a character level that...
And then I realized it's altered carbon.
Before we...
Actually a good one.
So before we get... Alright, so before we get started, here are the rules for this debate. Rule number 1 is that we can only choose a character strength based on the opponent, or which opponent we choose. So like for example, if we're doing like a Goku versus Naruto debate death battle, like we cannot choose like Goku Super Saiyan God against Space Naruto or Part 1 Naruto, because that wouldn't really be fair. So
I'm just a little pissed off at the app because I have yet to find a specific TV show that I watch.
Did you forget that we're still in a podcast?
No.
Oh.
With what I'm basically doing, it lets people know that we're still basically human.
Yeah.
And we're prone to getting sidetracked.
Well, mostly you get sidetracked. Unless if there's like a funny joke, then...
Yeah, that's a bullshit lie if I've heard one.
Well, whatever. Like, we got sidetracked now, but... Alright, so... Rule number 2. Rule number 2, we cannot use any outside help. Unless if that said outside help happens to be like a part of the contestant. Like for example, if we're doing like, let's say, Yu Natakami from Persona 4, like we cannot use like Izanagi unless if like, let's say Izanagi, like we can use Izanagi though, considering Izanagi is Yu Natakami's like persona. However, if we're using like, let's say Ash Ketchup from Pokemon, yeah, just don't. I don't remember his last name. That was like, friggin', now we have to change his name to Ash Ketchup. Then, whenever we get into.
What would be funny is if the people who created Pokemon were listening to us right now.
Yeah.
And actually changed his name to Ash Ketchup.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Yeah. But anyway, as I was saying, is that then we won't be. So considering Ash uses Pikachu, we won't be able to use Pikachu in in the death battle case, because Pikachu isn't really part of Ash per se, like how Izanagi is part of Yu Natakami from Persona 4. Considering that in Persona, the personas are part of the user. Basically, kind of, it's really hard to explain. You either have to watch either the anime of Persona 5 and 4, or just get into playing the video game series of Persona. But, yeah. So, the Issei that we're gonna choose this time is actually Part 5 Issei. Or at least, or what I call post-crisis. The reason why I would say post-crisis is because if you remember the 3rd season or the 4th season, because they're both literally the same, except that the 4th season tells a completely different story after the battle, after Issei was battling Theodore, or whatever the hell that guy's name is, to save Asya. So, but, and so, anyway, so we're gonna use Issei when he loses control of his, what was it, like Dragon Gear?
I think it's called, what is it, I think it's Sacred Gear.
Sacred Gear. When he loses control of his Sacred Gear.
Which happens to be a dragon.
Yeah. And... So, yeah, let's just get into the death battle.
Sorry, my cat has a bad habit of licking people's feet.
So, anyway, how the scenario is gonna be, or pretty much you already know the backs. Pretty much, if you guys haven't watched the show High School DxD, let me and Assassin explain this. So,
If I even want to explain.
or let me explain it though, considering, yeah. So the backstory of Issei is,
Your chain, dude.
huh?
For all those who this is your first time listening to us in a podcast, we joke around a lot. Well, mainly I joke around a lot, so.
Yeah. If you have,
If you hear me say something, it's usually I'm just joking around.
yeah, and if you have to compare us to Devil May Cry characters, I'm pretty much more like a Virgil. If you couldn't tell.
He's the non-jokester. I'm the Dante of the two of us.
So yeah, I mean like, or if you want to compare us to like Naruto characters, I'm more like I would say Sasuke. Just
Are you
not,
sure you want to be the brooding asshole?
except that not. Well, but anyway,
I'm just saying, you sure you want to compare yourself to a brooding asshole?
I'm talking about Part 1 Sasuke and Part 1 Naruto, not.
We're still kids. Sasuke is still a brooding asshole.
Yeah. Which, again, I never get why Sakura is so hung up on them, though. Even after, like, freaking Sasuke and Naruto had that final battle and they both lost their arm.
Yeah, it's... wait a minute.
But, anyway,
Yeah, I was gonna make a theory, but that theory would be, like, a little too much.
yeah.
I was gonna say, maybe, my theory was that maybe Sakura's mom, no, my theory is that the elemental nations which is just one giant place, all connected together, is basically like Pangea, except it's like the modern age has already just come and gone, which is why Naruto and their group has toasters and refrigerators and shit, and electricity. But
and that's really weird too, because in
my theory would also be that Sakura's mom learned from her parents, learned from their parents, yada yada yada, about magic and potions, and so silently somehow got bits of Sasuke's hair and dosed Sakura with love potion.
that would explain it. That would actually.
I mean, it's a very out there theory, but I mean, it does kind of make sense when you think about it, because Naruto and like, oh, it's like a whole past thing. No. The past, if you go in the past during Pangea,
Yeah.
why do they have fucking microwaves?
Now this is what
You gotta think, my theory does kind of make some sense that it's just the world all came together again to form a different version of Pangea.
Yeah.
And that's why they have toasters, microwaves, fridges.
Now,
Like,
this.
does make sense, right?
Yeah. Now this is what I think, though. What I think is two things. Either A, Masashi Kishimoto just decided to add that randomly, which in his work, which that's most likely the case, because
Talking about the microwaves and marriages? Probably.
Yeah, and also, the one fact, and also your theory kind of made sense. Well, it made a little bit.
It does kind of make sense. But if
Yeah.
that was the case, then why wouldn't Sakura be able to learn from her mother how to use magic?
Now, one thing too that caught my eye is if it's like if
Now that I think about it, magic and chakra both come from within.
actually came from that chakra tree that Kagura or Kaguya.
No. Here's what I'm saying. Magic, it doesn't matter who you are, what you are, you can be born with magic. You can be born to two parents who don't have magic and you have magic. Hence the term muggle-born. Now, if my theory was real and truth, then how come Sakura didn't learn magic?
Now, my only
The question is, why didn't Sakura learn it when she could technically have magic before? And it's been proven that only purebloods give birth to squibs, who are people who are born with such little magic that they can't do magic, but they can be part of the magical world. But then that also begs the question, if magic is real in Naruto, why
yeah.
isn't it able to be seen by, like, where are the parts of the magical world, like in Britain, or, you know, that kind of thing, like, where are these parts of the world?
Now, here's something that I do want to point out, though, that I realized. Now, you said, now, if Konoha and Naruto, let's say the settings took place in the past, or then why in part 1 in the first Naruto, when Sakura pointed out to a giant centipede, that why did she say that it's longer than a bus? Like, how would she know what a bus looks like?
My thoughts exactly. How the hell would you know? And if this is far into the future, and they've had to break down buildings and all this other stuff, and just regrow the forests and all that, why are they still using horse-drawn carts instead of motorized vehicles? And why did Sakura conveniently bring up that the centipede is longer than a bus?
Yeah. Like I said before.
Maybe the original creator of Naruto, I will not even ever try to pronounce his name.
Masashi Kishimoto.
Yes. He was thinking along the same lines as me, where it's way into the future.
Yeah, but yet again.
All of the tectonic plates and everything have re-come together in a different way to form the elemental nations. But that also leaves the question, why ninjas? Why not just
Soldiers.
people who have been taught to wield weaponry? Why ninjas?
Yeah, now, like I said before, is that Masashi Kishimoto probably just wanted to make the series interesting and confusing, so he just added that. But just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, but again, if my theory is correct, that would explain why Sakura conveniently brings up a bus, why they conveniently have fridges, microwaves, and toasters,
Yeah.
and electricity. But if your theory is right, and it is all in the past, wouldn't that that mean that that's technically Pangea and we're just waiting for it to shift apart?
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end, like, if you look at Boruto, the buildings look like modern day buildings now.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Am I like...
Instead of rebuilding it how it used to look, why rebuild it to look like it does in the modern day?
Now, my only question... Now, the only thing that I also realized is that most of the buildings in Naruto looks like buildings from, like, it was made in back in the Sengoku era. But...
Which would again give credence to your thing about being all in the past.
Yeah.
And maybe the Sengoku era actually got, if it was real life, maybe they got their buildings from the past.
Alright, hold up. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back.
And, well, basically, there are a lot of different fanfics out there. And there are a lot that give credence to my theory. There are a lot that give credence to yours, how it's all in the past.
Yeah.
And there are some that are just so messed up that there are some that have theories that are so out there that it makes you think, what if?
Yeah.
But life is basically just a big series of what ifs, you know?
Yeah. That's the one thing that I'm not... Now, speaking of which, is that...
That's something we probably shouldn't get into. That's something we can get into in another podcast.
Yeah. We're probably not gonna get into too much. We're just gonna end, like...
The whole life is a big thing of what it is, a whole bunch of what ifs.
Yeah.
Can take up a whole podcast in and of itself. So...
Yeah, but...
Back to the death battle.
Yeah, you guys...
So off topic and so sidetracked.
Yeah. And funny thing is, it's 3:13 of where I'm at, so... By the time we started this podcast, it was probably, what was it, like, 2 o'clock?
I don't know. It's 3:13 where I'm at, too.
Yeah, so...
You forget
And...
we live in the same time zone, so...
Yeah. Which, for some reason, so many people thought that, okay, I speak Japanese. You have most of my message on the bottom the message board is in Japanese, that they thought that I immediately live in Japan.
No, that's not the case. No, actually,
Nope.
you don't live. I believe you don't live too far from me.
Yeah.
You live where? Pontiac again? I believe.
Michigan.
Pontiac area, I believe.
But in country, U.S. So yeah. Just because I speak Japanese doesn't mean that I'm immediately in Japan. That's really.
Aren't you technically? Don't you have like Japanese heritage as well?
My family does.
Which is the whole reason you learned to speak Japanese.
Yeah.
Me, I have no clue what I have, so if I ever do find out, I will try my best to learn those languages.
So, but yeah.
Maybe at some point you guys will hear about it. If you're still doing podcasts.
Yeah.
You probably might.
I'm still trying to like figure and learn about my Indian language though. But which if you guys basically watched one of my Attack on Titan 2 videos that I've made where the subtitles was all in Hindi. Basically, I had to use Google Translate to translate from Japanese to Hindi and use subtitles.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
That sounds like a barrel of fun.
So, anyway, back to the death battle. So, what we're gonna use is, like I said, post-crisis Issei and Ichika from Infinite Stratos. And for Issei's backstory is pretty much simple. So Issei, on the other hand, was originally he was just your normal, everyday perverted high school boy. Yeah, and also the fact that his friends was also perverted before he met Rias. But I'll get into that a little bit later.
He was perverted before he even met his friends.
Yeah, but anyway, so one day when Issei was walking home, he meets a girl, though. He meets some girl that pretty much on the same path that he was going home to. Turns out that the girl asked Issei out. However,
Well, that was interesting. When I first saw that part of the episode, I was just like, oh, that's interesting.
yeah,
I thought he would just be a perverted loner the whole anime.
Yeah, I was pretty much skeptical of the whole time, because no.
Everyone everyone who ever watched it for the first time was skeptical of that chick.
Yeah.
You knew as soon as he got asked out by a female, something bad was gonna happen.
Yeah. But anyway, so after a date that Issei and this girl went on to, I completely forgot what her name was.
Yeah,
but
I remember, bro.
But anyway, so they were in front of a water fountain. The girl pretty much asked Issei to die for her. So Issei, pretty much being him, didn't understand what she was asking. And so the girl asked Issei to die again, so she pulls out, what was it, like some sort of rod thing, and stab him in the chest?
I think it was like a sword.
Yeah, it was some sort of like rod thing.
It was a sharp instrument. That's all I know.
I'm just gonna call it some angelic weapon. That's literally what.
I finished it was a fallen angel, so.
Yeah, but she still used. But so anyway, so Issei ends up bleeding out on the floor, till he basically pictures Rize's naked.
Rias.
Sorry, I was thinking of Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah, my question is, why did it have to be Rias that he pictured?
Yeah.
Not convenient much?
And funny thing is that Rias shows up as soon after he pictures her naked.
That's because his blood touched the card that her familiar gave him.
Yeah. So anyway, the reason why the girl turns out to be a fallen angel, that was only the only reason why she ever got close to Issei is only because of his sacred gear that Issei never knew about. That he had. So Rias shows up, basically saves Issei by showing back over to his own house and basically sleep with him naked. Which
That's how she heals her, as she calls it, her pieces.
yeah, that's just weird. I mean, like, except for the part with the whole sleeping thing, the whole healing, the other part, the healing part is really weird. Which that kind of begs the question is, does she does that with Kiba as well?
If he gets hurt,
or like Kaneko or any of the other characters? Because
yeah, if they get hurt
yeah.
badly, almost fatally.
So yeah. But anyway,
Mention Rias' best friend is her queen.
and so yeah, anyway, Issei on the other hand gets healed. So after that, we're gonna move on to where he meets Asuya. Considering that's literally the probably the only woman that Issei cared so much about more than Rias in the friggin' first 3 seasons. But yeah, so Asuya on the other hand, which her power ends up she's able to heal anybody. So Asuya
Rias doesn't have to do any more of the
yeah. So what ends up happening is that Issei on the other hand becomes friends with her. So Asuya gets kidnapped by that crazy priest at first. So the crazy priest tries to kill Issei, but Asuya ends up kind of begging him to stop till like that same fallen angel kind of kidnaps her again, but this time that the fallen angel wasn't after Issei's dragon or sacred gear, it was she was pretty much after of Asuya's abilities, which she did grab and end up killing Asuya till Rias kind of brought her back to life by making her devil. Yeah. So later when Issei gotten stronger by training with his sacred gear, and ends up meeting Cyborg, that one guy, or not Cyborg, but that one guy with the blonde hair in the front. I forgot what his name was. I think he's like a fallen angel too, but I don't remember. He's basically has two-toned hair. And a beard, and I think a goatee it was, but whatever. So he ends up meeting them, and he's to the point where he trains so much to the point where he learns how to use, to the point where he learned boost and that dragon armor that he has. So then, gonna kind of skip ahead though. Then lastly, Asya gets kidnapped again, but this time by the fallen angel of her past after season 2 and 3, or after season 2. So Asya gets kidnapped by Theodore, or whatever the hell his name is. I think it was like Theodore or something. Because Theodore thought he can like force marry Asya. But instead Theodore loses to Issei when he went to his dragon armor gear thing, whatever, and freed Asya. However, when Asya was about to go and pray, she gets teleported to another dimension. And so that, on the other hand, brings out the other antagonist, which I also forgot what his name was. So
the white dragon guy?
Huh?
You mean the guy with the white dragon sacred gear?
No, I wasn't talking about him. There was another guy that if you remember season 3, there was like this one guy that shows up after he sends Asya into like, what was it, like a void, to a completely another dimension where nobody can't really survive in. So basically that ends up pissing Issei off very much, so much to the point where it pretty much triggered that dragon transformation where he completely turned into a dragon. He did end up killing that guy, but it took basically Rias to turn Issei back to normal in season 3, but in season 4 all it takes is that weird ridiculous song where it was pretty much like a kid's, all I'm gonna say is that it was basically where the song basically was like talking about like the grabbing dragon, and yeah, it's really weird. I'm not gonna go into that part. But yeah, basically Issei ends up turning back to normal, yada yada yada, and that was the start of season 4 / almost towards the end of season 3. So yeah, that's basically Issei's backstory, and I'm sorry that I couldn't explain it very well, because yeah, such a weird show, which wasn't really good. It was really good, it was that weird. However, I don't really recommend anybody younger than the age of 17 or younger than the age of 16 to watch. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
So, now that I explained Issei, how about you explain Ichika from Infinite Stratos of his backstory?
Ichika, okay. Well, where do we start with this? Jeez.
Well, we could start after. Well, we could start on the fact that Ichika basically was was supposed to go to a normal high school till he kind of.
He still was supposed to go to a normal high school, but he had the misfortune of touching infinite shadows, and it actually reacted to him.
Which lame.
Which sent him to the all-girls school for that particular reason, because I'm trying to remember, I believe it's the cores of the infinite shadows were built only for a female to be able to use it. So the fact that Ichiko was able to get one to react to him was actually quite amazing. But
Yeah.
back to what I was saying, it sent him to the all-girls school, which his sister ends up being his teacher. So that's interesting. He ends up being in the same class as his childhood friend, Poki Shinono. A bitch of a girl named
Cecilia. And also the fact that he's also friends with that one cross-dresser, Charlotte.
Yeah, well, Charlotte came later, but he also finds out that his other childhood friend, which, fuck if I remember her name,
What was it?
is in the school as well.
And it kind of start. And if you watched any.
It kind of makes it look, well, and then comes along, oh my jeez, what's her name? Laura Bowie?
Yeah. And which for some.
Basically starts, what? There's 5 girls, I believe.
Wait. Hold up. Before you continue, the one thing that.
His other childhood friends, Cecilia, Charlotte, and Laura. That
No.
basically creates a 6-sided love thing.
Now,
No.
before you continue, the one thing I do have to say is, for anybody that watched Infinite Stratos but doesn't know like the character lore, what he was saying, pretty much she's the character that basically said that Ichika is her bride, even though that's kind of.
Technically, it's supposed to be the other way around.
Yeah, so just think of that.
Yeah, she's the weirdo of the 5 girls.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter because all of them just want to date him. So
Yeah.
all of them end up in love with him. So there's
But
also the other backstory about their parents as well.
yeah,
And
but
the fact that his sister, I believe it's pronounced Chifuyu,
yep.
had to basically raise Ichika.
And basically save Ichigo because Ichigo was kidnapped.
That too.
Now,
She had to raise him, save him, and
teach him.
teach him everything he needed to know.
Wow.
Which I'm guessing includes sex.
Yeah. Now, my only question, now, if you,
That sounds like a very awkward conversation to have with an older sister.
yeah, she's basically like the freaking, she's basically like that, what was it? I forgot. Now, if you're talking about sisters in anime, though, she's kind of like that one, that, like the main character's sister in MM, except that she's not like as, how should I say, into her own brother?
Yeah, that one is. That chick that you're talking about is just. I just can't.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's a good anime. It's like, and then his own mother is the same way too in that anime. Which, again, kind of raises questions. But
Yeah.
but anyway, So now that we told you about the two contestants' backstories, let's get to the scenario. Or the debate, actually, because I don't know what good scenario this would be. So we're just gonna...
And if you think about it, you're not really using an outside thing for Ichigo with his IS, because that's actually part of him.
Yeah.
It's part of what makes Ichigo, well, Ichigo.
Yeah. And the thing is that I wasn't gonna leave out Ichigo's IS, considering even though it's not really like something like, let's say, the sacred gear of Issei's or Yu Narukami's persona, but it's still technically a part of him, considering that's the only way that he can fight.
Yeah, but that's basically because of the school he goes to is a school that teaches them how to fight in IS units.
Yeah.
Or
So,
Infinite Stratos.
but anyway, so I would say that it would kind of lead to more of, I guess it would kind of lead to more of Ichigo winning a little, if you think about it, because when Issei goes out of control like that, though, he pretty much, he's
brain function and just becomes primal.
Yeah, he's basically the Ozaru of like High School DxD. From like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Ichigo, I almost said Ichigo for a second, but Ichigo.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to Bleach, bro.
Yeah. Like I accidentally said ketchup when I meant to say, we're getting out of topic again, but yeah, so Ichigo, who is more smarter, what he could have done is that he could have simply either somehow use his, I forgot what his weapon name is, or what his IS weapon name is, but
fuck, it's like, starts with a B, that's all I know.
yeah. I mean, like, we don't know how strong, like, the Dragon Gear armor is compared to the sword that Ichigo has. So we're just gonna say that the sword that Ichigo has is just as strong as Issei's out of control sacred gear. So, which just to be fair. Now let's say Issei on the other hand would go out of control, shoot some random blast at Ichigo dodges out of the way, and then ends up most likely either A, cutting off the head along with Issei's head, or B, just pierce him, or just pierce his heart. However, considering how strong the Sacred Gear's power is, especially when coming is out of control, if the blast did hit Issei, or not Issei but Ichigo, now Ichigo would die. However, because if it's just a raw battle, however, if it's a battle of intelligence in fighting, then Ichigo would win most likely. So, if you put let's say Issei from the debate that we was talking about against let's say the Hulk the Hulk or Doomsday, Issei would still win. Well, not against the Hulk, but against Doomsday, most likely.
Dude, Superman, who is way stronger than the Hulk, can't beat Doomsday? There's no fucking way Issei, even full sacred gear out of control, can beat him.
Yeah, and don't forget the fact that Issei has a huge weakness when he goes out of control like that. And that weakness is that he's not fully turned, though. He's not fully transformed. Which, if he was fully transformed, then Issei would die, and all there would be left is the sacred gear. So Issei would die. That would be Issei's biggest weakness, though. In that form. Other than the fact that he's literally brainless. And doesn't think when he's in that form.
Before he learned he had a sacred gear.
Yeah, I'm like, but you get what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, yeah. So someone who requested that death battle, I get that you.
Requested just the Issei death battle, or was it Isha? I don't remember.
It was Issei.
Okay, whoever requested that, there you go. Death battle.
Yeah. Now, it would be a better death battle if it was like Ichika versus I forgot what the main character name in 100. In anime 100, because that would actually be a better death battle.
Hold on.
Oh wait, I have the anime on my phone, Amazon Video, so I can just.
Yeah, I was about to say, dude, you have the fucking anime sitting right there.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
And his 100 is like the weirdest one that I know. Aw, hi, kitty kitty.
Oh, it's Hayato.
Hi, baby.
Oh, it's Hayato.
Hi, the baby. I'm petting my kitty cat.
Oh, Assassin.
I'm just loving on my cat.
Ah, Assassin. If you.
Hey, baby girl. The baby girl. The baby girl.
Assassin.
Yes.
So the main character's name is Hayato.
Yeah, I know.
But
I heard you the first time, brother.
so yeah. Now if it was like Ichika versus Hayato, that would be an epic death battle.
Oh, I just farted.
Now that would be an epic death battle though, because it's pretty much like a copy and paste from, because 100 is basically a copy and paste from Infinite Stratos, if you think about it. So it's really not that much.
Except in 100, anyone can wield one.
Yeah, and what's up with the cross dresses in between like Infinite Stratos and 100? It's like first that one female character, Charlotte, and is a cross dresser in Infinite Stratos, and now like freaking Hayato's like friend is also a cross dresser who happens to fall in love with him. Like, is that some sort of like trend that we?
Female who cross-dresses? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like, what is it? Like some sort of trends that we did not know about or something in terms of anime? Because I can name like freaking other shows that has like the female characters or like even the main character cross-dress.
Male character that cross-dresses?
Yeah, like for example, the main character in like for example, the main character is this a zombie from the anime. Is this a zombie cross-dresses?
Well, that's only because of the fact that when he goes to fight some random fucking creature, it turns him into a magical girl.
Yeah, which my only question is the creators should have left that as him just being like a zombie, not some like I find it so, like really weird, or even better yet.
I love in the first episode where she the first episode that you meet the magical girl, which I believe is actually the very first episode.
Yeah.
I love how when she goes to saw that, when she like chainsaws the bear, she just like, you can pass on in peace now, and he's just like, I'm a fucking zombie.
No, that was no my.
It's basically just I'm a fucking zombie.
Now my other favorite part in that show is like when she is in the same episode where was in the same part as Haruno was about to like chainsaw that bear thing. I like how she like just chainsaws the bear and chainsaws the main character along with it.
She chainsawed him in half.
Yeah.
She chainsawed him in half, and it was just like, you effing idiot.
Yeah. Now, another character that I want to say that also cross-dresses in another show is one of the female characters in the anime Nakaimo. Yeah. Just... only reason why I even watched that show is because, for one thing, the plot itself kind of interested me, even though as weird as it sounds.
What are you doing, dumb cat? She's just sitting here flip-flopping around.
And the last show that has like the main character kind of cross-dress, if I remember correctly, what was it?
Stop licking my foot!
I would have to say that it would be... dang it. I forgot what the name of the show was. I don't know. If you...
Remember any of the names of the characters?
Yeah, if you guys have any... if you guys can name off any other shows... oh wait, now remember. Freaking gonna be the Twin Tail.
Yeah. The whole fact that the whole reason he's doing... the one thing he wanted that Professor Chick or whatever the fuck her name is,
Yeah.
the one who created the whole thing, the whole reason he even said he would be Twin Tail Red was if she would put her hair in Twin Tails.
Yeah, the guy has a extreme...
But she had sworn off putting her hair in Twin Tails. Like, what the fuck? And even at the end of Gonna Be the Twin Tails, you never see her with Twin Tails on.
Yeah. Now, my only question is... now, my only thing is that, yeah, I get that the main character ends up turning into...
The main character, his best friend, and the student council president.
Yeah. And for any of you guys...
Twin Tail Red, Twin Tail Blue, and Twin Tail Yellow.
yeah, and for any of you guys that's gonna put in the comments saying, oh, that because, like, the main character turns into a girl, and that's why he dresses like that. Yeah, I know. I have... yeah, I know. I have the anime on Amazon Video. I've seen it. And... but it's still weird, though. It's still technically cross-dressing.
Yeah, it is, but the fact that he has an unhealthy obsession with Twin Tails,
Yeah.
and the fact that the student council president doesn't even like Twin Tails, was something that frankly astonished me because it's her mother that makes her wear the Twin Tails.
Yeah. And isn't it kind of... and I thought... and
It's
it's...
kind of redundant or stupid for the student council president to be Twin Tail Yellow if she doesn't like Twin Tails.
yeah, my only thing... now, my only thing, too, is that... I noticed that that one doctor in the show is, like, madly in love with, like, the main character, but... she's, like, one of those...
If the main character's mother, she's just gonna move It's just like, you just met that chick. Why are you letting her move in with your son?
Yeah, and it's funny too because, there was.
The fact that the main character's best friend had to be the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Cracks me up.
Well, she.
It's like, you just met this person and yet you're letting them move in, like, what?
Yeah. But like that kind of shocked because you would think like, and the thing is that she's also in love with the main character.
Yeah, and so is the student council president.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the fucking anime, the student council president ends up in love with him, and then it's just, well, a love square.
Alright, so what? Alright, so.
You can't really call it a triangle with 4 people. Just like you can't call it a triangle when it's a love hexagon.
Now, before we.
You put it in Stratos with, well, Ichika.
Now before we close out today. Now, one thing that I am gonna say is I'm gonna list off a few animes for any of you guys that do want to watch anime, or for any of you guys, and not just anime but shows in general.
Any of you guys that like magic types of anime, I would suggest Akashic Records of Bastard Magical Instructor.
Yeah, but
That one's funny.
alright, so, or any other type of TV show or whatever. So here's my list, and then I'm gonna turn over to Assassin, and he's gonna give you his list.
I don't really have a list of anime, but I have a list of like TV shows that if you guys are huge fans of a whole bunch of different things.
Alright, so by the way, some of the shows are also gonna, by the way, I am looking off of like my Netflix and my Amazon Video, so.
For me, it's Terrarium.
Alright, so the first start of the list is Tokyo Ravens. For any of you guys that like, Onmyoji anime type animes. Overlord, which there's a third.
I just found something and I realized that you named it earlier when you couldn't remember the English name of it.
Yeah.
I just realized I have it saved under my favorites on Terrarium.
Yeah. So.
Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
That's the one that I was trying to remember the English name of it. So Overlord is next. Noragami, for any Noragami.
I found that one on Terrarium as well.
Sakire.
Sekire?
Yeah. Dagashikashi. K.
Oh, it's not bad.
K. And K, and also the second season of K / the movie. Seraph, Owari no Seraph, or Seraph of the End.
And I have yet to find that on Terrarium, and I'm pissed because... Oh no, wait, never mind, yes I did.
Oh yeah, by the way, before I move on, this list is kind of long, so yeah.
Oh, for any of you guys who are fans of, like, some old school, like, 2001 TV shows, I recommend Smallville.
Yeah.
Because that one is just fucking amazing.
And for... Oh yeah, by the way, before I continue on to the list, I will be saying the Japanese names of the shows too, in terms of anime. So for you guys who only speaks Japanese, or for you guys that prefer like typing in, or yeah. So
I forgot I found that anime.
So the next list is Majida Watashi ni Koi Shinasai, or Magikoi or Samurai Girls.
I'm surprised one of the things on your list is a Testament of Sister New Devil.
Oh, that was actually gonna be next on the list, actually.
You know the funny thing is, I
So
I
the
forgot about that anime.
so the next one on the list is Shimai no Testament, or the Testament of Sister New Devil.
Devil? Yeah.
Shingeki no Kyojin, or Attack on Titan. Shokugeki no Sama, or Food Wars. Asobi Nikyo, or Cat Planet Cuties.
Ha! I have that one saved on my favorites as well.
Mirai no Nikki, or The Future Diary.
That one,
Let's see. Unbreakable Machine Doll. Ansatsu no Kyoshitsu, or Assassination Classroom.
Oh man, that's a fucking awesome one.
Boku no Hero Academia, or My Hero
My Hero Academia?
Yeah. Which, by the way, the word Boku no means myself, so just want to put that out there. Hyoka. Day Live. Freezing, Parasite.
Oh man, fucking freezing.
Absolute Duo. Shonen Sample.
Good.
Showman Sample.
Not too bad.
Hidan no Aria, or Aria of the Scarlet Ammo.
Yes.
Norin. Heaven's Lost Property.
Oh, that was not bad.
Musugan no Phantom World.
Oh, Myriad something.
Alderman on the Sky. Tabu Tattoo. Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches. Ace Attorney. Dragon Ball Super. Baka and Test. Tomodachi Bokunai Tomodachi ga Sukanai, which is Haganai. Grim Real Life. Chaos Child. Handshakers. A Certain Magical Index. Rosario plus Vampire. Is this a zombie? Fate's Day Night. Sugumomo. Durara. Persona 4. Seven Deadly Sins. Bleach. Akashic Records of Bastard Magic Instructor. Re:Zero. Nakaimo. In Another World with My Smartphone. Gangsta. Tokyo Ghoul, the third season and first season. And lastly, on the Amazon Video playlist, or on a video on Amazon Video, which, like I said, I'm gonna go on each anime from the 3 services that I use as a list, which is the last one on Amazon Video would be Trendstar Exorcists.
Yeah, you'll probably already say ones that I'm gonna say anyway, so
And then from
it won't matter.
High Dive is Ushio and Tora. Hold on. High Dive is loading. Then Brit Händler, which I cannot say that one because that one I think is in German.
I think I know which one you're talking about. Okay.
The Book of Bantora. Let's see. Chivalry of a Failed Knight.
That's a good one.
Chaika the Coffin Princess, both seasons.
Oh yeah, that was not too bad.
Campione.
That one's good.
Devil's Line. Let's see. Dog and Scissors. Doreke. Dream Eater Mary. Dusk Maiden of Amnesia. Elfin Light. And I already said Fate Stay Night, so let's see. Grimoire of Zero.
Isn't that the familiar of Zero?
No, that's not the one I'm talking about. There's an anime called Grimoire of Zero where it's like where the main character's where basically the main character's a talking tiger.
Oh, okay. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, and basically he makes a pact, or basically he meets a witch that he asks the witch to see if he can turn him.
I'll watch it later.
Alright, so let's see. In the age category, which it kind of is going in category of my list, is high school.
You've got a very long ass list.
High School of the Dead. Horizon in the Middle of Nowhere. Infinite Stratos. Is it wrong to expect a hot spring in the dungeon? Oh wait, forgot. That's the OVA of the original anime. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in the dungeon?
Okay, that one sounds a little interesting and something I probably won't watch, so...
Yeah, it's basically an OVA, an unaired episode. Let's see.
Dude, my phone is like dying. It's at 18%.
I'm charging my phone, so...
Dude, I'm trying to, but my phone's already overheated, is my problem.
Oh. So, next one in the K section is Kamisama Dolls. Love Chunibyo. In the L section, it would be Love Chunibyo and Other Delusions. Oh yeah, and by the way, I forgot to... by the way, I almost forgot. The other show for the B list, for the B section, is Black Bullet.
Again, another good one.
So, Medica Box for M. Mayochiki.
Don't know if I know that one.
Odyssey Majikoyo Samurai Girls. Monster Musume. Magical Warfare. Nobunaga the Fool. No Game No Life.
That one's funny.
No Game No Life.
That's a good one.
Problem Children Are Coming From Another World, aren't they? Persona 4, which I already said. No, never mind. Let's see. For the R, it would be Rurouni Kenshin, Gintama, Sunday Without God, and for the T, Trinity 7, Utawara no Mono, and for, dang it, swipe over. And for the W, it would be When Supernatural Battle Became Commonplace.
Yeah, I'm trying to, like, cool down my phone a little somehow.
When
so
they
I can charge it, at least.
When They Cry. And that was it for High Dive. And for last one, which is Netflix, which it isn't really, which I don't really have that much long of a list on Netflix, actually.
My Netflix list had more than just anime.
Yeah, which the list of which I'm probably gonna end up listing off regular TV shows that's non-anime too, so which that is kind of a little bit shorter.
Oh yeah, I'm not listing TV shows. I'm probably just gonna list animes that, if you haven't said them already, that I have saved on my favorites under Terrarium.
Yeah. The first one is called Kakegurui, which just type that in on Netflix, spelled Kakegurui. And hold on, dang it, go to my list.
You might want to hurry up because my phone's almost dead.
I'm trying to go to my list, but it's... Alright, so there's my list. Blue Exorcist.
Again, another good one.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Good one.
Fate Apocrypha.
Haven't watched it yet.
Sword Online. Death Note.
Good and good.
Your Lie in April.
Ah, yes! Oh, man, that one's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Let's see. I have a lot of regular TV shows, though, and not so much of anime on my Netflix. I got Fate Last Encore.
I'm already trying to charge you. My phone's overheated. My phone just told me 15% battery life. Charge now.
So I got Fate Last Encore and Devilman Crybaby. I got Bleach and Newer Rise of the Yokai Clan. And for this, and just to end the list, I'm only gonna name 3 regular TV shows, which is iZombie, The Tomorrow People, and freaking Lucifer.
iZombie and The Tomorrow People are good.
Yeah.
Now, I did notice you did not mention Angel Beats.
Yeah, which for some weird reason I can't find it on like High Dive though. Like I said, I only listed off the ones that I can watch on either High Dive or Amazon Video or Netflix.
And you also did not list off Attack on Titan.
I did list it.
No, I didn't hear it.
I said Shingeki no Kyojin or Attack on Titan when I listed it off after I said...
I heard you say Bleach. Another one that I didn't hear you say was Blood Plus.
That because I never seen Blood Plus, though.
It's good. You forgot to mention Charlotte.
Wait, what?
Charlotte?
Oh yeah. But that's on Hulu, which I have to renew my Hulu account, though, to list that off.
That's why I like Terranium. Or, yeah. Terranium, because I can watch things from Netflix, Hulu, whatever.
You have to send me the name of the... You have to send me the name of it.
Kenichi, the Mightiest Disciple. Now, I will list off a couple animated TV shows. Generator Rex.
I've seen that.
Jackie Chan Adventures.
Definitely seen that when I was little.
Oh, and this one, I am probably so gonna mess up the wording. Masamune Kun's Revenge.
I've seen that. That was actually part of a simulcast that I've seen. What was it, like a year ago?
I don't know. Plastic Memories.
I wish they made that English dub, because most of the time I don't really like an Eplex's English dub.
I had to watch it, but it's saved on my end. Yes.
Yeah.
Movie, but you guys already heard us talk about this before.
Yeah, especially when especially in that one podcast where the background gameplay was only all Blaze Blue cross tag battle, where
Star Wars Rebels, that's an animated TV series, and for all you Star Wars fans, I thought I'd throw that one out there as well.
Yeah.
Steins Gate.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I'm still watching it too because it's still ongoing.
This is one that I found, but I have never heard of before.
Yeah.
And it is called The Melancholy of
Haruhi Whoa.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the last name, so...
Suzumiya?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I've kind of just stopped watching that after episode 2.
Yeah, I found it and I'm just like, it sounds
Yeah.
Oh, and for any of you like diehard old school anime fans, Thundercats,
Or Busorinken.
Yu Yu Hakusho,
Definitely seen.
and Zatch Bell.
Zatch Bell I actually grew up watching too. Like,
I definitely have to let you go so my phone can cool down so I can charge, because it is at 1%.
alright, so this is Akirathenephilim here and Roger the Assassin, and we talk to you guys next time.
See